So, okay, for the next section, we are glad to have Gary Lam, the Chief Technology Officer from Livi Bank, one of the virtual banks in Hong Kong. And then we do have some speaker from the traditional bank this morning. And then we are very excited to see how virtual banks see the open banking API, and is there anything that we can learn from? Okay, thanks, Gary. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, hi, Patrick. Thank you for having me today. Yeah,
Thanks for
this
supporting.
morning was exciting. I hear like Richard, Trevor, great speech over API, and at the insight, it was really insightful. Maybe I just take start, right?
Okay, yep, yeah. I think that your screen is okay, so I pass the stage to you. Thank you. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, Patrick. Again, we speak soon. Yeah. Okay, so today I just want to quickly talk about in this open banking space as one of the virtual banks in Hong Kong. We are one of the 28 participant banks to join this HKMA agenda in open API strategy development. And just quickly talk about myself. Gary, CTO of Livi Bank, with lots of history in the industry, and most of you may know me already if we are in the banking industry. I just put this little cute bunny on the left in case none of you have ever see that. We actually is our first NFT collection that is mimicking my unique avatar that we minted a collection with about 2,000 unique NFTs to reward our special customers and also our banking staff as well. I will talk more about the NFT later on. I just so proud to have this as one of the industry first initiative, and just put it as my own avatar for that. So moving next. So today, while we talk about open API, I want to do one step back. As a virtual bank CTO, I think we cannot neglect what's happening in the last 3-4 years in this Web 3.0 space. Yeah. As of now, the most common domains we can group into these 7 categories in terms of usage and their applications, like smart contracts, decentralized finance, X to earn, play to earn, do something to earn, metaverse, DAO, decentralized community, the cryptocurrency for sure, and we have in a long history, especially in Hong Kong. We did a lot of blockchain initiative already, especially from the wholesale trade finance kind of markets. So what next with this Web 3.0 initiative? If we zoom into the cryptocurrency markets, some numbers just want to share with you guys. Right, in January 2021, the global crypto owners has tripled from 106 millions to 295 millions. So it gone 3 times more than within a year. And with the total market cap has been skyrocketed from 758 billions USD to 2.2 trillions as of the end of last year. And I believe now is more or less the same, going up and going down a little bit. With this rapid growth market, given that it's still very volatile, but I think we cannot, as a technologist, we cannot neglect these trends. We have to have a close eye on it. So just give you some background as well. Patrick has highlighted we are one of the 8 virtual banks. So what does it relevant to us, right? Our virtual banks is our shareholders is by Bank of China, Hong Kong, JD Technologies, and Jardines Medicine Group. With if a network in this background, you can already imagine we have a strong banking background and an e-commerce kind of technology boost, as well as a strong ecosystem partnership opportunity in Hong Kong market and Asia Pacific region. With this, what we have a mission to drive to Hong Kong markets, we compare ourselves with traditional banks, right? what shall we do as a mission? And I believe in the last few years, most of the main banks is already migrating to what Livi Bank is inspiring ourselves towards to be. For example, our bank is customer first. If you are our banking customer, you already see a lots of delightments, a lots of unique customer journey that we try to bring to our customer. As of last year, we did one of the industry first bank offer buy now pay later solution to the markets, and it was well known and very popular last year. And that actually create a new industry trends alongside with all our virtual banks peers to educate the customer instead of a credit card heavy industry in Hong Kong, slowly to walk towards to a debit cards industry or payment industry in Hong Kong. And I can see that momentum is keep shifting from credit card to that. In terms of product play, we're more looking into platform play. As of now, we have around 40 plus ecosystem partners. How we trying to create a community and let everyone come in and enjoy their everyday spending to raise their lifestyles and make everything easier for them, not only banking services. And we're trying to push towards that to extreme on the platform play. About innovation, I think we didn't talk about innovation too much, but we have innovation everywhere, I would say, around the entire organization. Everyone do things we going into different angles, looking into new ways of doing the same products, same features, or looking from our customer angle, how can we combine multiple strengths of our ecosystem partners and then to build a unique environments for our customer to enjoy the service. Modern technologies, I think in virtual banks, you kind of expect it. We not only have the opportunity and the luxury to start a bank from 0 to 1, but we also trying to lead the industry into looking at a lot more new technologies that can blend into fintech or banking industry. And last, and it's most important, I would say, as an agile advocate over 15 years in Hong Kong now, you guys may see a lot of big transformation program happening within my career. And in Livi Bank, we are born with agile, and we're trying to go to the next phase of what we can do beyond agile by looking into customer, deliver the customer value first, look into multi-iterations, speed to market, and I will talk a little bit more how we go beyond that. In Livi, our agile methodology, we call Livi F1. So based on the name, you can already imagine what is F1, Formula One for sure. We are inspired by the speed, by the accuracy of the Formula One team, by the dedication of the team to deliver their missions, and also by the way they do, by the way they communicate with each other. Can you imagine in the pit stop, average 2 to 3 seconds to complete their mission? Will they have the traditional banking world where you got a long PPT, PowerPoints to do presentation, get approval, go into multiple cycles? No, they have to win the competition. They have to do it as accurate as that 2 through 3 seconds time. And each of the members, they need to trust each other. Everyone have their own post, and everyone is going beyond their home post. We have an example when we are launching this internally in our team. We show videos about in one of the pit stop when an engineer trying to exchange the views, and in that incident, actually is a tragedy. The Formula One car actually crashed to one of the engineer and break their legs. And within those 2 to 3 seconds, there a second engineer jump in, pull him out, and change the wheels and let the car move on. So we're trying to inspire by this kind of dedication within the common goal, common mission to deliver what we call customer delight to our customers. And in the same time, we're not only inspired by the speed and dedication. we also want to, as a what we call management team, you can see the management committee, we try to put ourselves behind the wheels, try to support the team, give them full empowerment. They have full autonomy. They sit above us. They are the mini CEO team with different business line, pay later group, flexi loan groups, and other like marketing team and different groups. They have their own Formula One teams that they will have a full autonomy to make their own decisions. And with our committee, we are just helping them to resolve all the blockers. What can we support them, and what kind of expertise we can pull in terms of support function to make them work as quick as it gets. So that is a quick highlights of a Livi F1 model. And so happened that I can see one of the biggest organization, Tesla, in 2 months ago, they also talk about similar model, which also reassure that our model can be one of the successful model to drive virtual banks forward. So let's zoom in back to the NFT program. We did that. We are industry first to create what we call regulatory friendly NFT. Our NFT is non-transferable, non-tradable. What that means is we're trying to leverage the same technology that in the Web 3.0 world, that not only have the uniqueness and the ownership reinforcement, but we also take this opportunity to remove the trading risk to protect our customer assets. By doing so, we found another kind of benefits to our customer is that to appreciate more on the artwork, on the collectibles, on how to use these technologies in the what we call utilities kind of areas. I cannot share too much. And for the 2,500 unique NFT owners, they are so lucky. We have a lucky draw in around May time. There is around 20,000, 18,000 customer within the lucky draw, and then we select. We by the lucky draw, the winners is about 2,000. And after that program, we believe we create another new tool for our ecosystem partnership to be part of the Web3 world or 2.5 world within our ecosystem and create more rewarding experience to our customers. You can already see some of the collaboration over here. One of our spokesperson, Jay Fong, for this year, you can try to figure out which one it is. And you can see Mr. Mouse and other collaboration we're already working on right now with our NFT collections. We talk about Metaverse. For Metaverse, I think the entire market is still skeptical, but yet we're still trying to invest a little bit kind of focus into this space. What we did is by around May, we create our own Metaverse building in Decentraland. As of now, our main purpose is for increasing our staff engagement during the pandemic situation, where everyone is working from home, and then we can see the numbers is going up in the last 2-3 weeks. And while everyone is disconnected with maybe with the tool on Zoom video conference, if we want to raise a not more excitement, engagement, fun experience, we create this world. A 3-level building, we try to bring a lots of our office elements into there with our green walls, with our ads and our posters in the building. So let them feel that they have a virtual office and then they can just hang around and talk to each other. From what some of our staff testimony, they say, "Oh, Gary, after this, we really feel that we are now working for virtual banks at last." Yeah. So it's just put a joke aside. Yeah. So let's bring everything back into what open APIs can help us. For the objectives or targets of open API, I think we can categorize into 3 areas. One is for the customers, how to enhance customer experience by promoting financial inclusion, help whoever needs help, and offer whoever that they're not able to enjoy the financial or banking experience, then we're trying to use this technology to enable that. Next one is helping fintech community. So as of this year, we in Hong Kong especially, we hear a lot of governments trying to push largely on how to develop or grow fintech space in Hong Kong. And as a licensed bank, we also have that mission, how to, during we are building a solid foundation of banking infrastructure, how can we enable fintech to join this community and create more unique user journey for Hong Kong citizens? So this is one of the things I can see Open API can help. And while everything is going digital, I can see largely, especially myself, going through 20 plus years in traditional banks and move to virtual banks, I can see largely reduce lots of operation costs while we are leveraging microservices, open APIs, not only open APIs, but APIs. And also when we are interacting with ecosystem partners, with all this integration work that used to be done in the past, which is very difficult. And now I can see it's much easier. Especially later on, I think Patrick will talk about with technology like Below40, a platform like that is actually enlighten us with another opportunity to further ease that kind of operation and difficulty in the integration part. So while we are doing this, using this open API, there are the research. You guys can have a look in White Site. I got the link over there, or you can just search for it. For the model that they show us, it actually inspired us in looking into longer term strategies. It's not right now, we are talking about sharing our bank informations by customer consensus to whatever they want to use their data, because the data is belong to them, right? And after the first phase of open banking, we enable our customer to have a choice of banks or have a choice of using some solution to do account aggregations, to have a stronger authentication or controls of their own data by the consensus, for sure by the open API characteristic. And after that, what shall we look beyond? You can see this model, open finance, open economy. Open finance is like what I likely touched just now. It's about when we are trying to support the community, support the growth of fintechs. They don't have a banking license, but they have lots of creative ideas, lots of new excitements they want to create. But with that, we already have the mission to build the safest place, most cybersecurity proof, most stable solutions for the community. How can we expand that to a wider fintech opportunities to create more marketplaces, ease their processes with automation, or now it's very hot topic about data sharing with CDI infrastructure, for example, create alternative credit scoring on some of the unique business case, as well as what we call about banking as a service, compliant as a service. With Open API now, we have an opportunity to offer this kind of alternative way to monetize our assets. The last phase, I would hope to see that it's not stepwise or maybe they're in parallel to grow in the same time. In the last 2 years, I can see a lot of health tech come out, a lot of automation, auto workflow come out, a lot of remote kind of solutions come up. I can see that open economy has been accelerating a lot. So imagine if this cross-industry have this ability to maneuver with traditional banking infrastructure in a safe way by customer consensus, there will be a lot of different models and experience that we can generate to the markets. And that is what we also take this as an inspiration for us as a middle to longer term strategy. So what is our belief? for now, you can see open banking as one of the first batch. I can say we are almost ready. The 4 phases for the open banking on the left upper corner, with the account information, with the payment informations, APIs, and the CDI network that I'm talking about for wholesale markets. And moving forward, as we already take the initiative as the first bank in Hong Kong, trying to self-mint, leverage Web 3.0 technology to do some self-minting for art collections, we are hopefully to do more with customer rewards, with partnerships in our ecosystem, and with a lot more opportunities for collaborations with the fintech community. And as I say, one of our unique strengths in Livi Bank is not only we have a solid banking background, like what Trevor said just now, right? Part of the BOC group. We also have another arm of JD.com and Jardine Matheson. And with that, we can easily combine all this into what we call open economy just now, by not only providing banking service, but also blend into food and beverages industry, blend into grocery industry, everyday spending, healthcare, and the list go on. And I can see Livi Bank has this unique opportunity to tap into this all three in the middle term of our development of the organization. With that, maybe I don't need to repeat all the imaginations. I will pass this back to Patrick and Bilofoti. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thanks, Gary. So your sharing is actually, I would say, your sharing actually answer quite some imagination of people. Okay, how and virtual bank they're expecting, I would say. So maybe I want to ask some more questions about the maybe from the virtual bank's perspective. One thing, I am regret that I don't participate the lucky draw of the NFT. I really want that to leave yours. Okay, so hopefully next time I can catch it. Okay,
I will let you know.
Yeah, thank you. So we talked to a lot of team from traditional bank, and we do also have a representative from insurance like AXA. Data is actually is good. They have a lot of data, but this also be a burden to them. So what's your view? Talking about virtual bank, you have a new way to capture data. It can make it more structural, etc. Do you think that this part is an advantage of a virtual bank? Maybe is this a good opportunity to collaborate with traditional bank or other parties? What do you think about that?
I think if we talk about data from if 5 to 10 years ago, before I joined Livi Bank, I would say it's about data analytics, about this modeling, how to advance the data farming within the organization, the skills, and all these kind of new ideas of how to monetizing data. But if you ask me the same question in 2022, I think it's about ownership and collaboration. Yeah, actually the volume of data has been growing massively. I don't have the numbers with me, but I can see, as I remember, it's about 20 to 30 times in compared to last 3 years ago, let's say. Yeah, with that amount of data, I don't see in this world a centralization of data farming will ever work. And especially with this new technology emerging right now by identity of the data itself, by tagging and relating the data to the owners of the data, I think it's about how the data owner willing to share and how the ecosystem willing to collaborate to create a new user journey that have the synergies to win-win in both organizations. That's why when I talk about partnership, when I talk about ecosystem, you can see it's a bank with a fintech, or a bank with a fintech and with another cross-industry kind of organization. There are a lot of untapped synergy around that collaborations. And then we can also give the transparency to the owner of the data to control whatever they want to share or what they want to get. Yeah.
Okay, so another question is more from the maybe the TSP perspective. So when we are working with some partners, they always say, okay, I want to work with a traditional bank, but I do also see an audience saying that, oh, it's not always the API technology problem, but the process of the people, because we understand in some traditional bank they have some established and robust process, so it make them cannot be take too much risks. So talking about the virtual banks, how you view the TSP partner and how it may be different when you evaluate or accept or find a partner. It will be easier for a partner to partner with virtual banks, or just like this morning, we have one bank say, oh, you need to have a very trusted bank. So can you share about maybe what kind of TP they can expecting themselves can find you for collaboration? What are you expecting from them as well?
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. It's very good questions. There are actually a few angles to these questions. One is virtual bank safer or not safe in comparison to traditional bank, right? So I can tell you proudly, as part of the virtual bank, we are working on the same governance audience by HKMA, by SFC, by HKIA, with the same level or more, because we are more digital, we are more transparent in terms of controls, risk and control, in terms of new product developments, in terms of customer protections. Yeah, that is one angle. On the other angle, I hear that yesterday actually, in the Web 2.0 or Web 2.5 world, the generation is about 6 months. Yeah. And if we talk about Web 3.0, one generation is about months or few weeks. Then you got a new generation. When I talk about generation, it's about how we emerge new technology to make everything safer, make everything more transparent, and give more control to our customer. For example, the other day I have been discussing with my chief architect on the firewall design within the bank. We talk about in the last 10, 15 years, the firewall has been doing multi-layer firewall, right? You have a external facing zone with the trust zones and all these different zoning, right? With the zoning technology in the past 15 years, there are some kind of security gaps that can introduce. If physical tamper to the building, that you can easily get a laptop, then you can see all the information. But if we look into technology right now, in some of the virtual banks such as us and my other peers in the market, we are pushing zero trust. So what is zero trust? You actually don't need to worry about the layers, but without the trust in that particular mission that your customer want to do, they actually can't do it. So actually that kind of technology is already old. It's not like 2022. With that kind of example of this technology, it actually gives our customer extra layer of safety on that if you are believing in the technology itself. So I would say in the second category of my answers to your question is that I believe it's about education to the market. So before we are talking about, we have big brands, we put advertisement everywhere, we get a spokesperson, a movie star to talk about our organization in my previous banks. But right now, I think we need to put more efforts into tell people we are using this technology and you are safe with us. With the key that you're holding with yourself, everything is encrypted and no one can ever get the information out of it. I think it's about education to the market in terms of how to give the confidence to the customer in enjoying virtual bank services.
Okay, so thanks for your response. And I do understand the education matter, and that's why we do the API days for 3 years. Because I think most people will think, okay, I need to share data, it will be risky. So it also take a long time for us to grow community. Okay, it is safe and have a modern way to work together. So I think
Yeah,
here
Patrick,
is
you
your
guys are
input.
the pioneers in educating the APIs to technology to this community. Yeah.
Yeah. So really thanks for your support as well. So I think this is also good that we have a 25 minutes to understand how virtual banks is position themselves, and then instead of just reading the newspaper or some random Facebook post, campaigning, etc. So I think this is really good refreshment, especially to me and also to all the audience as well. So I can see the time is almost up. So thanks again for Gary's sharing, and hopefully we can have trying to exchange more offline. So thanks again,
Sure,
Gary.
sure.